Well, the rain stopped long enough for us to come out to the garden and do a little bit of work that we've been wanting to get done. So today we are going to plant potatoes. We're going to add some mulch to our blueberry bed. We're going to plant some red and yellow onions. And we're going to have an absolute blast doing it. Join us.
Sweet Maple Ridge Farms. Come on down, everybody. Go!
All right, welcome back to the channel. First thing we're going to do is plant these onions. We got these. These are a Stuttgartner onion. We're going to plant these here. This is also going to be our tomato raised bed. We're going to have a couple more tomato raised beds down there. And, you know, they say these onions keep pests away. So tomatoes especially are prone to disease and pests. So we're going to do everything we can to try to not use chemicals and to keep those pests down. So that's why we're going to plant these onions right here in a row and all the way down to the end here. So I am going to till a little bit more. Not till, but use this hoe. We're just gonna mix this dirt in. It's topsoil, cow manure, whatever. And onions, really easy to grow. Just put them in the ground and they're amazing. So I've got this loosened up enough. What do you think, Miss Sweet Maple Ridge?
Yeah.
Looks good? All right. So how deep are you planting these?
Not very deep at all.
A woman of a few words. And you space them just
a few inches apart.
right.
And we're planting all long day onions.
All right, so these are long day onions. Do you know the difference between long day and short day?
Yeah, it has to do with how long your days are. So how much sun they're going to get. And we are in the Northeast, or I guess the Mid-Atlantic. So our days, especially in this garden, because we get so much sun, are long. So we're doing long day onions.
Nice. Tons of worms in here. I mean, just a ton of worms. This last year, we put this raised bed together. Obviously not this year, the year before. And then we had tomatoes in this all last year. And we just filled it with some dirt. We did get some bag dirt from like Costco. Then this year we did get some topsoil, some screen topsoil, and then some cow manure you saw we got from Miss Sweet Maple Ridge's dad. So this is what you get, and there are a ton of worms in here. I mean, there's one right there. There's just worms everywhere. So all right, so in here we already have some this is garlic, right?
Yeah, this is garlic that we planted back in the fall.
So we just had garlic and we just planted it. I don't really think we planned it even, really.
Well, we had some moldy garlic that we had bought, and I threw it in the garden just with our kitchen scraps. Mm-hmm. And the garlic started to grow. So we decided to just go with it, and I transplanted it because I didn't like where it was, and I moved it into this bed. And so it's been just doing its thing over the winter, and now here we are. So we've never grown garlic before. So we will see how it turns out.
We'll see how it turns out. It's definitely got like a nice stalk on it, so that's pretty neat.
What I've read is that you're supposed to wait until the bottom 4 or 5 leaves die, and that's how you know it's ready. Not sure if that's true, but that's what we're gonna go with. I pulled one of them up, and because I didn't like where it was, and it definitely wasn't ready yet.
Gotcha. Well, if you've ever grown garlic and you know when it should be harvested, put that down in the comments. Let us know what you think. Let us know what we should expect with this. Now you see we have these garden gnomes in here. Got this one, and we got this one. What's the backstory behind this, Miss Sweet Maple Ridge?
Those were a gift from my mom.
Oh. I do want to just take a second to show you this dirt here. I mean, this dirt is real nice. I'm pretty sure that this is probably partly from what we got in a bag last year, but it looks very nice. And then all that topsoil. Just look at all these strawberries. We're gonna have like tons of strawberries, and I think it's gonna be soon. Let us know in the comments where you're at if your strawberries are coming up, and let us know what you do to get them. Now, let's move on to the mulching of the blueberries here. Oh yeah, they look wild. All right, so I just went down to an area of our property that has a bunch of pine trees, and I brought up a bunch of buckets of pine straw. And so this is what we use to keep the weeds down in our blueberries. It's done a real great job, and it also helps to keep the soil acidic. So this is where we're at with the blueberries on Mother's Day. And then I also have our pipe, or our hose that we use for our watering system to keep them nice and watered. So this has worked out real nice. I have a real thick bed of pine needles to keep all the weeds down. So that's what we do, and you can see we are having some good success. Like I said in another video, I've never had success growing blueberries ever. So I'm real happy with how these are turning out. So we'll see.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and cut up our seed potatoes. These are potatoes that were just from last year's harvest that have since gotten eyes on them just because they're old. So all I do is I just take the potato, and I'll usually try to, you could just throw the whole potato back in there.
In the ground.
In the ground, yeah, in your row. But usually what I do is I cut them so I only end up with 1 or 2 eyes on the potato. And then each one of these will go down in the row, just a few inches apart.
And how deep?
Just like a couple inches. I mean, not super deep. But this is all that I do. And this is what we're gonna plant. So these are left over from last year. And we'll just do the same thing next year. We'll save some, or whatever potatoes don't get eaten. If you don't have any left over, then you'll have to buy seed potatoes. But we had some that got the other way before we were able to use them. So now we're going to use them for this year.
So free, easy.
Yes.
And
we did buy seed potatoes last year. So these are just left over from this is from last year's harvest. So we didn't have to buy new seed potatoes this year.
That's great. We love free. So use what you got, save a couple, and then pop them in the ground just like that. And that's what we're about to do. All right, so now we're gonna plant these beets. Pretty small. Only plant them pretty shallow in the soil here. So we're gonna do that. I'm a fan of putting a stake at each end. That way, you know where not to step. So we did plant some red potatoes here. Next, we planted some white potatoes. And then these are Yukon Gold potatoes from here over to that stake with a flag on it. We love beets, and they're really good for you. So that's what we're doing now. guess BEETS. There we go. All right, so what I'm gonna do is put some Jack's Blossom Booster on, and some fish emulsion on our blackberry over here. Now this is the Ouachita thornless blackberry that we got from Stark Brothers last year. We planted it, I want to say last summer, last fall maybe. And now's the perfect time to give him bloom booster, because we don't really want him growing lots of leaves. We want him growing lots of berries. So you can train a plant to do what you want it to do by giving it the proper fertilizer. So what we're going to do is give it bloom booster, because we want lots of blooms, and the blooms turn into blackberries. I don't want a bunch of green growth. I want blackberries. So that's why we're going to give them the bloom booster. All right, scoop bloom booster right in here. Shake this up really good. 1-2 second pour. Stuff really stinks. Make sure that you have your garden surrounded by a good fence, because animals will love to get in. So I'm just gonna add water to this to the top, and we're gonna dump it on. All right, so we got this good and mixed up. I'm just gonna dump this all down in here. Gonna get on a nice, good drink. Just watch yourself. They can absorb this fish emulsion also through their leaves. So let's see, pour some on here. We'll just get them real good, and that should do it. And we have been using this cardboard because it really helps. Now the remainder of this, I gave them about half of that. The remainder we're gonna put on these strawberries. And again, we're just gonna pour this right on top.
And we recommend, if you're going to do this, you do it in the evening, because you don't want the sunshine of the day baking on the wet leaves.
That's a really good point. And that's that. It stinks, but it works so well. We've had great success with the fish emulsion and fertilizing at strategic times. We did that last year, and as we had in our 10 secrets video that we posted the other day, definitely recommend you watch that. We had gigantic tomatoes as a result of using the right stuff at the right time. All right, so now we're gonna go hang up our Spartan camera that we've been meaning to hang up for really probably a couple weeks now. We're gonna head on down here. Kind of had this nice trail, but we get so much rain around here that it's always it's tough, because if you don't ride down here all the time, the trails will literally just sort of grow shut. And you can see it's been a couple weeks since we've come down here, and look how much this has already grown up. We have this Honda Pioneer 1000-5, and it's been amazing to get us around our property. It's super reliable, as like Hondas are, and we just love being able to use it. It works great. So here we are at this junction, and this is just a spot here that is just all kinds of wildlife go up and down. So we're going to find a good spot, and we'll let you know what we come up with. Stick around. All right, and we have a camera here, and you can see that somebody, not somebody, but an animal, has been messing with it. You saw the bear video. We never fixed it, so this is the result of that. So we're gonna fix this real fast. All right, so we got that fixed, and we're gonna do a review one day, a detailed review of our Spartan cameras. We have, how many? We have 4 Spartan cameras set up around our property. We've used them ever since we moved here, so that's a couple years. So we think we could probably give a good review on them. So let us know down in the comments if that's something that you would be interested in. Maybe we put it here. That way you'll get them coming and going. All right, and so we use these camera boxes for this. So that's what we're gonna do. So we're just gonna drill a hole, put this thing in. That's what we're gonna do. Here you go.
Is that poison
I'll
right
just
there?
edit it out. No, that's not. That's just Virginia creeper. You think like right here?
Yeah.
All right, just take this. Solar battery right here. Just plug that in. They will mess with it, but that's all right. All right, so turn it on. All right, we're gonna get this set up. All right, so we got this all set up. It takes a little bit to boot up and to connect. Now this connects to cellular. So we get alerts to our phone and via the app with this. This is a Spartan Go Live. We have it hooked up to a battery box. Like I said, we've been using these for about 2 years now, 3 years. There's pluses and minuses, and we'll discuss those in another video. But we'll pull up the app, and we're gonna make sure that it's pointed the way that we want it to be pointed. All right, so we got the camera all set up, and it points right where we want it to. So we have a camera maybe 200 feet up the trail, and then we have this camera, so we'll be able to catch some really good stuff. All right, guys, we're gonna end it here. That's it. That's the video. If you like this video, make sure you hit that thumbs up button. Definitely hit the subscribe button. And we'll see you next time out on the ridge. Sebastian Cam. Oh, there you are, buddy. Everybody say hi to Sebastian. He's just up there living his best life. Give him some likes. Comment down below. Tell him how good of a job he's doing, keeping all the mice and all the chipmunks.
Oh, you can see his head.
Yeah, there he is. All the mice, all the chipmunks, and all the stuff away. He does such a great job. And you know what? He's just living his best life, trying to stay warm. You know the odd part about it is, I still see a lot of mice around here, and I still see a ton of chipmunks. So, let's just say this. He gets an A for effort. Thanks for watching, everybody.